Well, a good morning to you, Central Georgia. Obviously, not a picture-perfect morning by any means. We've had scattered rain for virtually the last 24 hours and some change, and we're going to continue to deal with those showers for just a little bit as we kick off the work week. But as we head into the midweek, some more pleasant weather is in store, and then a lot to talk about in terms of what we're going to see this weekend potentially. So right now, getting the first glimpse of it. Obviously, when you forecast about 6 to 7 days out, the details are still a little bit fuzzy. The timing is still a little bit fuzzy, but we'll go over what we're seeing as of right now and what implications that we could possibly see in terms of some storm potential. So, as always, we'll kick it off with a view of all of our sky cams here in Central Georgia. Here's the scene down in Warner Robins, maybe a little bit lighter in the sky than it was as of the last couple of hours. We've still seen this cloud cover linger, even though it hasn't popped up on the satellite and radar picture. And it does look like the roads are drying out just a little bit, but no showers to be found currently at this hour. We'll take it over to another one of our sky cams. Have to pull up the tab here and log in, so give me just 1 second. We'll take it down to the Georgia National Fairgrounds. 1 second. Hang with me real quick. And this is going to be a view of I-75, so still got the zoomed up picture from when I do traffic and weathers in the morning. And you can see many people just flowing at a normal pace on the interstate. Maybe a little bit breezy, seeing this camera shake just a little bit. Some of those occasional gusts could be a factor throughout today, but still compared to what it was last week, these winds are still a step down, so we will be very thankful for that. And now we pan it all the way around. Let's take it over to the clock tower, get a better view of what's going on over to the west and kind of a zoomed out picture. And our friend the bird right there just tried to give me a little bit of a scare flying into the camera. But it looks like busy activity at the fairgrounds, looking at all the walkways, still some puddles that are lingering, but overcast skies are continuing to dominate the forecast down in Perry this morning. Now taking it up I-75 here to downtown Macon. A fuzzy image because we still have plenty of water droplets on the Skycam lens, and that's going to be the case still throughout the rest of today. But one more Skycam to show you, and that is down in Lawrence County, and the same picture really, a very fuzzy image, still our fair share of wet roads. So obviously, if you're heading out the door to run any midday errands, definitely take it a little bit slower on those roads because they are still pretty slick, and we can run the risk of hydroplaning and such. So the other big story with the rain so far this morning have been the temperatures. It has been a chilly day by all means. We're still dealing with temperatures in the mid to upper 40s. Vidalia has been consistent, hanging on to that 50-degree mark. Still not feeling too much better because many of these are paired up with a little bit of a breeze. So the temperature probably feels more like the low 40s, excuse me. And when you pair it up with that rain, it is just making for a nasty image all across basically the southeast this morning. So you can see that most of the country is dominated by a lot colder weather. So it always can be worse, Central Georgia. We could be 36 degrees right now in Wichita, 44 in Kansas City, 50 over in St. Louis. But down here in the south and the southeast, we're seeing some of that green color. We have a lot more moisture present, so that's helping keep the temperatures a tad bit warm in some areas, with the exception of Florida, who is always sunny and 70 somewhere. And we'll go over what's going on big picture wise, what all of this rain has been associated with that got going overnight Saturday into yesterday morning and is still continuing to linger for the start of our work week. So here's your satellite and radar picture. Some clusters of steadier rain, more so some light showers once you're in Baldwin County, stretching up into Putnam and Hancock counties, starting to see maybe some patches of yellow, some patches of some light red, indicating a little bit heavier rainfall. However, over to the west, this is what we're going to continue to monitor. Obviously, just a couple of scattered sprinkles right now along the Georgia-Alabama state line. This will continue to filter into Central Georgia as the circulation with this low pressure center passes us down to the south and the southeast eventually. So while we did get a brief break in rain so far throughout the morning hours, we're going to welcome it back here in about maybe 2 hours, give or take 3 hours. But all of this associated with that center of low pressure. It's going to be centered right now along the Florida Panhandle, moving in to the northern extent of not the Panhandle, excuse me, the peninsula. That's what I was trying to say right there. Got my P's mixed up. But the circulation with this has counterclockwise circulation. So what we're going to see is all of this rain over here to the west, all of this moisture is going to creep back into the state of Georgia, and already seeing our fair share of even some severe weather down on the Florida Peninsula. Even 2 tornado warnings right now that I'm seeing pop up. One looks to be maybe around the Daytona Beach area and one just south of Tampa right there. And this is going to be the cold front associated with this low pressure system. So this is what I was talking about right here, this cold front draping down to the south of this low pressure center. And then what we have over here is going to be a warm front, and that's continuing to usher in moisture all across this southeastern corner of the United States. But right now, a good cluster of showers on the northern side of this. The southern side is where we're having the severe weather risk throughout today. And we're still not forecasting anything in the way of severe weather as we do go throughout today. Let's take it through future view and I'll play everything out for you. Forgot to throw some pause points on there. But around the midday hour, getting into 1 o'clock, around lunchtime break for many of you, still going to be messy conditions. We'll start to see those showers continue to cluster together one last time. And then as we head throughout the afternoon hours, let's take it to 2 and 3 o'clock. Eventually getting on into 5 o'clock. So when many of you are heading home from work, heading home from school just a little bit before, we'll see this rain start to fizzle out from west to east. So if you do live further over to the west or the northwest, we'll start to see that rain clear a little bit quicker and maybe get some peaks of sunshine during the last part of today. And that will continue to foreshadow what we have in store for the next 2 days. But some light showers still remaining along the I-16 corridor. This system will nonetheless still continue to slide towards the east. So as we go into tonight, seeing all that residual cloud cover eventually start to clear behind the rain. And then we head into Tuesday. What's in store for your Tuesday morning? Nice and sunny skies. Doesn't look like it's too breezy. You see these wind arrows a lot more yellow, a lot longer further off in the Atlantic Ocean. Here, maybe just a slight breeze, but temperatures will be a little bit chilly as we kick off tomorrow. We'll get into that in just a second. Tuesday, 5 p.m. Yes, I moved it forward. We're not really even seeing any change on the future view run right here. This is virtually going to be the case for both Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday starting out nice and clear, maybe seeing even a little bit of a downtick of that slight breeze that is in store for Tuesday morning. And then Wednesday afternoon, 6 p.m., wrapping up your Wednesday, is still going to be a pleasant day. Plenty of sunshine in the picture, getting some good images of sunrises and sunsets as we head into the midweek. And then let's take future view all the way out as far as it goes. See 3 a.m. on Thursday, so the overnight hours on heading into early Thursday morning. Cloud cover starts to build in from the west, and this is going to pick up on the long-range models in just a second, where we do have our next rain chance in store. But obviously, this isn't what I was talking about with the potential storms. That's going to be as we head into the weekend. But before we get there, still kind of wrapping up what we're expecting today, because many of you are probably just venturing outside for, yes, the second day in a row, going to work, going to school and such, wondering when will these dreary conditions end and when will it finally get a little bit warmer? Because yesterday was already pretty chilly, 60 degrees for a high temperature. That's below average for this time of year. And the cloud cover and the rain is definitely keeping us a lot cooler and not allowing for as much of a temperature spread. 47 for a low, only increasing 13 degrees yesterday for the high temperature. Well, today is going to be on even the colder side of that. Chilly rain clearing this evening, like I did just show you, that timing starting to fizzle out around 3, 4, 5 o'clock from west to east. But a steady breeze out of the north, some gusts up to 25 miles an hour at times, like what we're probably seeing down at the Georgia National Fairgrounds right now. And 55 is what I have for a high temperature. This is all going to be dependent on what time that cloud cover does eventually clear. So obviously areas farther over to the west along the I-75 corridor, we're talking Warner Robins, talking Macon, even going farther west than that, Roberta, Forsyth, over into Upson County, Thomaston, Taylor County, over in Butler. You guys are probably going to run a little bit warmer than the rest of central Georgia because you will get some peaks of sunshine right there at the end of the day. However, areas farther over to the east along the I-16 corridor, talking about Dublin, heading down towards Vidalia, even down in our southern extent, areas like Eastman, getting over to Hawkinsville, McRae down in Telfair County. You guys are going to deal with this icon a little bit longer. These cloudy skies, a couple of scattered drizzles. We definitely see a downtick in those pockets of heavier rain and maybe even a few scattered flashes of lightning as we go throughout this afternoon into the evening. But also, you'll notice the sunrise this morning, 7:51, Yes, we had that time change yesterday, so the sunrise was a little bit later, but the sunset will also be a little bit later. We'll get into that in just a little bit, talking about daylight savings. And Ansley Parker is working on a package today that will keep you informed and actually let you know what would happen if we didn't do daylight saving time. We stuck with standard time, we stuck with daylight saving time all throughout the year, and it's pretty interesting to see how that would affect our days and our circadian rhythm and what time that sun rises and sun sets. So after today, we will get into a more pleasant weather period. As 55 for a high temperature today, we're rebounding almost 20 degrees for the next 2 days. 75 for a high on Tuesday, 78 on Wednesday. This will also be paired up with an abundance of sunshine. So Tuesday and Wednesday looking like great days for outdoor plans, feeling very spring-like. Obviously, it's in the middle of the work week, but I would definitely recommend getting your plans in or doing something outside as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday, because yes, it's going to be a dreary into the work week, and a dreary weekend looks to be on tap as well. So down a little bit to 73 on Thursday before we bounce back into the upper 70s on Friday. That's not even the highest temperature I have on the 7-day. I think we'll reach 80 in some spots as it does stand currently once we go into Saturday. But not to take away, all important still are those morning lows. What's it going to feel like when you're heading out the door? And it's going to make for that dress and layers weather, because we're still going to see a downtick in that low temperature for tomorrow morning, 37 and then 41. So while they are 30s and 40s, still not feeling too much different, only about 4 degrees apart. And then Thursday going to feel more like what it felt like this morning, and then eventually up into the 50s, a little bit farther above average as we kick off Friday. So you'll want to bundle up a little bit in the mornings, but be ready to shed those layers with high temperatures crawling into the mid to upper 70s as we go into the end of your work week. So long-range models are picking up at another rainmaker arriving sometime in the later half of Thursday. Right now, this frontal boundary doesn't look to have much organization to it whatsoever. Not a lot to work with in terms of moisture, in terms of instability. So I do believe we'll see our fair share of scattered showers as we head into Thursday evening, but it does look like that activity really fizzles out as we turn the calendar into Friday. So Friday afternoon, you'll start to see some very tiny and minuscule green and blue dots right there. I think we'll have enough moisture to sprout some scattered sprinkles in some areas as we go throughout Friday afternoon. It's still nothing worth canceling any outdoor plans that you may have for Friday. Friday evening is still looking mighty nice. But then we head into the weekend. This is where a lot of the focus is right now. You'll see a frontal boundary taking shape over to the west. So this is right now obviously having severe weather possible implications. They're outlooked and a little bit of a severe weather risk farther over to the west, states like Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas. But once I get into our day 6 outlook, which will be for Saturday, we'll go into a couple more of the specifics with that. But this front taking shape, obviously you can see a lot more organization with this than what I just showed you is in store for the second half of Thursday. And then it continues to push over towards the east and the southeast. This is Saturday at 4 p.m. Maybe the northern extent of the state actually already getting some of these showers, even a couple of storms. But it does look like we don't really see anything in central Georgia until we get into the morning hours on Sunday. Now, number one, you're not seeing the best agreement amongst these long-range models as of right now. And this is as of the latest update. This morning, there was pretty good agreement on the timing a little bit earlier into Sunday morning. But now it looks like the GFS is trending a lot later in the day on Sunday as opposed to the Euro, which is following ahead. And it looks like that will clear as we go into the second half of Sunday. The timing is going to have big implications in terms of potential for severe weather. We were talking about it with our system last week that brought some thunderstorms. We only had 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, but still some strong thunderstorms to wake you up. We were very fortunate because that did happen in a cooler part of the day. In fact, the coolest part of the day that it can happen in during those overnight hours and turning it into morning, the early, like right there around sunrise, that is when we're going to be at our coolest. So that did help us out a little bit. So if the timing does fall in the overnight hours Saturday into Sunday morning, that would be very fortunate. We wouldn't have as much of a severe weather risk as areas that do see the passage of this system during the warmer parts of the day around 3, 4, or 5 o'clock. But if we do follow the GFS route, this trends later on Sunday, that would pose more of a severe weather risk. We're a little bit warmer, there's higher moisture content, higher instability, and those are all the ingredients that severe weather does need to fire up. So this is something we'll continue to very closely monitor over the course of this week. Again, this is about 6 to 7 days out already as it stands, so we're definitely going to continue to see fluctuation in the timing as we do get closer. Once we get this visible on our short range models, then we will finally be able to give you a better idea about what exactly to expect. But we will see clearing as we go into the beginning of next week. Not going to start next work week off on the same note that we did for this work week. Look to have nice and sunny skies after the passage of that front ushers in some probably cooler and some slightly drier air into the picture. So this is where the day 6 storm outlook currently does stand. You'll see that we have a 15% chance in this yellow shaded area of seeing severe weather once we get into that day 6, which is Saturday, that I have outlined on the banner right behind me. 30% chance of severe weather over here into Mississippi and areas of Alabama. That obviously just indicates that there is higher confidence of severe weather potential farther over to the west of us. Now, obviously, you may be asking, well, Alex, you just talked to us all about Sunday. Where's the day 7 outlook? Where's the outlook for Sunday? There is still not enough certainty whatsoever to even outline any of our areas for Sunday. So right now, as it does stand, we just have a few of our western counties that are clipped in this 15% shaded area. Once we take it to Sunday, it still says the predictability is too low to outline any areas for the risk of severe weather. But also, that could update and that could change over the next couple of hours throughout today. We'll continue to update you if we do get an update and more central Georgia counties are outlined in some sort of risk. But as it stands right now, these day 4 to 8 outlooks, this is the best prediction you're going to get. You're going to get those 15% and those 30% chances of seeing that shaded area of potential severe weather. Once you get in days 1 through 3, that's when we start to do the level risk, the level 1 through 5, and that's where you're typically seeing us show throughout our shows, where those green shaded areas, the yellow shaded areas, the orange shaded areas, and we'll continue to keep a close eye once we get 3 days out from this system as it does approach. So as it does currently stand, right now the timing is looking more so overnight Saturday into Sunday. So hopefully that does come to fruition. If we trend a little bit earlier into Sunday morning, sometime around 4, 5, maybe 6 a.m. when the system does pass through, that would be very fortunate because obviously we wouldn't be a lot warmer like we would in hours like 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. in the afternoon and give this system a lot more fuel to work with. But as the timing does stand right now, the European model is definitely trending a little bit ahead of what the GFS model, the American model, is trending more so into the afternoon. Once again, this is going to fluctuate over the next 6 days, so don't get locked into this as of right now. This is more so just to keep you updated with the latest data. It is not anything to be immediately concerned about. We can still go about our work week, do everything that you need to do. Just keep this on your mind and obviously continue to monitor the updates as we continue to give you them here on the meteorology team. And then the system will move out as we approach the beginning of the work week next week. So as it does stand right now, your 7-day forecast is crowded by a lot of rain. So let's take it over to my 7-day forecast and we'll pick apart what you can expect each and every day. So you'll see today, 55 for a high temperature, 80% chance of rain. We're going to have good coverage of those showers. Once again, as we head into the next couple of hours, we finally see this system start to slide eastward and bring that last cluster of rain in, and that will eventually exit down the I-16 corridor. Plenty of sunshine for your Tuesday and Wednesday. Don't even have a cloud icon up there. High temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. However, the mornings are still going to have their chill, starting out around 37 for tomorrow morning, 41 here on Wednesday morning. So be sure to bundle up and stay warm throughout the morning hours. You won't need that layering whatsoever as we head into the afternoon. Then Thursday, about a 30% chance of rain as it stands right now. Again, we're still seeing disagreement, and it doesn't look to be too impressive of a rainmaker. Still going to be a very spring-like day, even with the clouds and maybe some possible showers. So that cloud cover and those showers definitely won't be playing as much of an influence on the temperature as it has the past 2 days. And then 79 on Friday, slim chance of a sprinkle. I think Friday is going to be the best day to have any outdoor plans for this weekend. But once we get the timing more nailed down, we'll see about Saturday maybe being a good day for some outdoor plans. I would definitely recommend the first half of Saturday as opposed to the second half, because right now it does look like maybe more of a Saturday night into Sunday timing system. And then Sunday, once again, just like this past weekend, the one blemish on the 7-day that we're really looking at. Obviously, you see a lot of rain chances from Thursday all the way to Sunday, but Sunday is the day that you absolutely should definitely not plan anything outdoors for. And I know it's a big weekend, St. Patrick's Day on Monday, many activities going on in Dublin, Georgia, all across central Georgia to celebrate. I would definitely recommend making indoor plans for any celebrations that you do have on Sunday, especially for the first half of Sunday. But again, we're going to see that timing fluctuate. You'll probably see us take off maybe that morning text that we do have just above Sunday and maybe just make it for more all day Sunday. We could see it trend a little bit earlier into the second half of your Saturday and then completely move out by Sunday. But that's all stuff that we're closely monitoring and that we'll continue to keep you updated on. As it stands right now, still nothing to really be concerned with other than maybe making a contingency plan to have any plans that you have for Sunday to maybe move them indoors. But the thing to look forward to is going to be the next 2 days full of sunshine, some spring feeling weather. And then as we head into the end of the work week, we'll start to deal with those dreary conditions as they do pop up. So I'm going to take to the comments. I made a post on Facebook. Let's see what you guys are talking about and asking about. And if you want a certain question answered, feel free to go into the comments section. I'll take a look at it. Doesn't look like we have too many comments thus far. I see a lot of thank yous and keeping us updated. And of course, we're wanting to enhance our stream platform. And obviously one way we can do that is well ahead of time, put something on your radar like this and tell you to keep updated as we do continue to find out more details way ahead of time. So I do appreciate all of you giving the feedback on that. See if I can look in the weather network real quick. I made a post in there as well. Got a couple people that acknowledged the post, still no comments. So I imagine, like I said, I'm on here and on camera telling you it's nothing you need to be concerned about right now. And obviously, hopefully many of you are heeding that message. You're not really concerned with it right now. It's just something to keep on your radar. We'll continue to talk about this each and every forecast that we have. Ansley Parker will be with you at midday. Ben Jones will be in this evening giving you the latest updates. Maybe we get an update to that day 7 outlook, get a little bit of a better idea. But as it's standing right now, we have a lot more confidence in seeing more widespread severe weather impacts farther over to our west. So if I show you this day 6 storm outlook once again, we're going to be where the 30% and the 15% chance areas are shaded. And there is another one for the day 5 outlook, and that's going to be a little bit back farther to the west in states like Arkansas, Tennessee, getting into Missouri. So once again, it looks like the features and the pattern setup is a lot more favorable in those areas. Right now, we're still kind of at the very tail end of this risk. So we're just going to continue to monitor it really. And the potential impacts that we could see, it could range from seeing all kinds of severe weather, or it could range from just seeing a strong line of thunderstorms, none of which get to severe criteria, kind of like what we saw last Thursday morning. So something to keep on your radar and stay updated with. Other than that, we still have a good amount of showers to get through throughout today. So be sure you are keeping that rain gear very handy. And also, once we get into tomorrow and Wednesday, that dress in layers weather, you're going to get good use out of good portions of your closet. Layer up in the mornings, be ready to shed those layers as we go into very spring-like afternoons. And then Thursday, we kind of start that pattern change, foreshadowing a shift into more dreary conditions to end the work week. And then hopefully we can get a good stretch of maybe about 3 or 4 days in a row with some nice spring feeling temperatures, a good amount of sunshine, but obviously that's in your extended forecast well past the 7-day. So that's something we'll kind of cross that bridge when we get there. We're still really making this the main focus of our weather forecast throughout this week. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll probably be doing one of these just about daily, so be sure to come and tune back in just around 10 a.m. I'll let you know about the timing each and every day that we're doing some sort of live stream. Come here with your questions. I'm happy to answer them, and I'll have the latest data for you and where things do stand as we head into the end of your weekend forecast. So stay dry today, Central Georgia, and enjoy the next 2 afternoons for Tuesday and Wednesday.